I wanted to do another talk and doodle slash draw. So today I've chosen a kind of weirder topic, and just to let you know what I'm drawing, as always, this is Layla. I might change her name mainly because I've started watching Nana, and they have a character called Reira, and now I'm like, I'm like comparing the name to Layla, so her name might be changed. Might not be. I still kind of feel like she's a Layla, but we'll see how I feel by the end of this. And yeah, this is my character, or it's one of my characters for my Japanese study website and app. I just wanted to draw her in like some really cute clothes, and this will be for this is a purse, this is a bag kind of example. I don't know if I'll actually start line arting her during this, but we'll see. I wanted to talk about kind of watching new films and things like that, and why. So I'm not sure if I would call myself a massive film fan, but I am a massive story fan, is the best way I would put it. Like, I love characters, I love character writing, and I think actually in a strange way I find it really, really hard because sometimes I just want to do so much and like I just don't know. I think I overcomplicate things in my head. But something I've kind of noticed, maybe more with Western rather than like anime or so, or even like K-dramas. I don't really watch K-dramas or anything like that. However, I don't really notice this in anything if I do watch something Korean, which is quite rare, but it does happen. I sometimes feel like when I'm watching Western, especially things like Marvel, I don't even think I've watched anything Marvel recently, maybe Disney, etc., big studio kind of thing, is I feel a lot, and you know what, in fact, animation, Western animation, I feel like rather than watching a well-rounded character, I feel sometimes like I'm watching a show made for the director. And actually a very good example of this that I can think of, that's not Western, but he specifically said he did this and you can feel it, is The Boy and the Heron, the newer Hayao Miyazaki movie. He made that movie for him, and you can feel it because there's bits on it that were made for him. Like, you can tell they just make sense for him, they resonate for him, like it's relatable for him. And I actually found that movie, although I'm sure like it means a lot to him, I found it to be one of his hardest to sit through and watch because it didn't relate with me. And I feel like a lot of Western films these days, or just like maybe Western animation, I feel like they're making films for them, something that relates to them. Like, I'm not sure if this is like them all going to the same schools and the schools instructing them to make something that you can relate to and people will like it will find its audience or something. But I don't feel like that's working, because why am I watching another kid that didn't fit in detail and has that bad relationship with their mum or something like that? And I feel like I don't feel like I'm watching a character that was made for me to relate to. I feel like I'm watching something for the director, the person who made this character, to be like, I'm seen, I'm finally seen. This is the thing that I wanted as a kid. When funnily enough, like, that doesn't always mean that other people want it, if that makes sense. And I think it's really difficult because I do genuinely think there is a certain level of do make something that you can relate to, or like write what you know kind of thing. But there is a difference between write what you know and write yourself. Like, I feel like sometimes what I'm watching is the director's story, and almost like sometimes I feel like I'm just watching the director personify themselves into a character. And it kind of feels like, yeah, this is how I felt growing up, and I don't think that's always a bad thing, but recently it's just been getting a lot worse. I want a well-rounded character, not like another person who didn't fit in. I mean, I don't mind them not fitting in, to be honest, just because the director didn't fit in, and this is exactly what they needed when they were a kid. I think like I just genuinely don't feel like in fact, if I were to say my problem with like anime and animation in that sense, is probably more kind of like sometimes when they translate from manga to anime, I don't know if like all manga, maybe some manga have like terrible characters, they just kind of lose some of the character and make the character a bit plain. But I never really watch anime and think, wow, you can feel, not that I actually watch that much. I actually need to add, like, I actually don't watch that much anime. I say this as if like, yeah, I watch it every day, like I watch a few a year. It's just kind of what came into my head as the kind of opposite to Western animation, I guess. But I was thinking about this, I've never watched one and thought like, yeah, I'm getting this is a story about the director. Sometimes it's definitely got elements of that, or like their feeling in it, but I mean, unless it's a biography, but I very rarely watch one and think this is that. No, that's a lie. I feel like sometimes Solo Leveling, sorry, you know how much I hate that if you watched any more of my videos. I feel like they're writing their own power fantasy. That's a thing that I get in anime, but like I never like overly feel like they're not writing a character for me. It usually, sorry, Solo Leveling feels like there is some kind of character. So yeah, that is my kind of drawing this week's drawing rant, just because I need little things to upload during this like final week before I complete my app, and I don't want to make lessons at the moment because it's a lot to make an app and lessons. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time, and let me know what you think.